Once upon a time. Once upon a time, before the concept of time, there was a child being born on this day, March the 11th, on the planet star Trinity. Oh yeah, Trinity's sunlight stargaze in the crimson nova dimension. With the birth of this child, the sun and the moon and underworlds were opened and moving closer. King Ben and Queen Sandra, your son is surrounded by a pure blue, white, red, platinum red, and black crown and aura on his head, around aura and crown around him and on his head. My king, I just got through reading the star prophecy from the stars. Being in the royal families. Wise eldest elder. That's a tongue twister. What did the prophecy say? It said that this child born on this day would become the ultimate supreme lord and face his greatest threat after being reincarnated again and again with both of the royal families if they die. So, what are you going to name him, stepmother and father? Crimson Edward Rucker Omega. Crimson is now 12. Dad, how was that attack? Crimson, that was your strongest attack ever. Crimson, we should spar. That's a good idea, Pitch. Are y'all too crazy or stupid? What are you talking about, Auntie Juanita? If you fight against Pitch, Shalita, or Justin, that would destroy reality. Well, okay, then I don't want that to happen. Through the years, it was peaceful. No fights, no wars, no problems, no nothing. Done of Time Art Part 2. Narrate. Crimson is now 14. Crimson, meet your adopted cousin. Hey, Crimson, do you want to train? I forgot to add that part. A boy who was the same age as Nebula came up. Master Crimson, are we going to train today? Yeah, we have a new guest joining us today. Who is it? My cousin Nebula. Crimson, Nebula, and Cloud spent the whole day training. The fateful day that Cloud and Crimson and Justin were our training. With all due respect, Crimson and Justin, can you all use your half of your true power? Are you sure about this, Cloud? Crimson and Justin, is this okay? Yeah, if that's what he wants. They spent 3 hours on training inside of the training void. I think you are at your limit, Cloud. Cloud's aura was dark, deep blue and red. Crimson's hair was standing up with lightness around him. Nope, he did not go Super Saiyan 2 if you are wondering that. Nope. He's a god. He does not need mundane transformations. Cloud, let's keep this up. I'm getting stronger. Then after Cloud shows his brand new transformation, then he powers down Justin and Crimson. He did well. Of course he did. Y'all was only using a half of y'all's power. Yeah. You are, yeah, maybe a little bit more. A couple days later, Cloud wakes up. How did I do against? You did well. Well, wow, I survived against Crimson and Justin. Tomorrow we will be training you at that level. Okay then, I can't believe that he survived that power level. Uncle Crimson. Taeyeon, he has a special ability of adapting to any power level. Would that be a threat to us in the future, Crimson? No, Julian, it is not, because we are strong than what you think we are. Even if we use our full power, if we use our full power against Cloud, that would be my and Crimson's true potential. At that point, that boy would die. A few more peaceful years until Cloud kept on pushing himself more and more. Cloud was training one day until something inside of him locked. So Cloud kept on unlocking more new abilities. These abilities were unlocked through Cloud's junk DNA. Now his DNA mutating into something brand new. Cloud's rebellion. This is gonna be a short ass rebellion. Narration: the Crimson is now 20 years old and an elder coming into the room. We can't find Pitch, Cloud, and Nebula at all. That's because I sent them away to another planet where they can train more on their new abilities. But why did you do that? But why would you send Pitch and Nebula with him? The eldest elder found out about who Crimson's greatest. Pitch and Nebula came back with blood dripping from their mouths. What happened to you all? Cloud and some others started to attack. Crimson power up out of anger and frustration. Everybody in the original infinity dimension felt Crimson's power. On the planet called Days in lower parts of the original infinity or infinite dimension, Cloud and his allies was destroying innocent people and their families. Cloud smiles at feeling Crimson's power. He must have gotten my message. Come and get me, Crimson. Crimson and the royal family comes to the location where Crimson Cloud was located at. Few years later, Pitch and Cloud were stowed away. Y'all will find out later on why they were stowed away. They are stowed away for two separate reasons. Before Pitch was stowed away, Crimson split his powers up into Grim, Omega, and Despair. Shalita and Justin and Julian became light and yin and yang. Dawn of Art Part 3. A long time before the concept of time, Crimson and Levi's reincarnations, there were three great powerful gods, and their names were Omega, Grim, and Despair. They were always at war with each other until they found peace, happiness, and harmony with one another. One day, they met in a space that they called the Realm. Hello, my oldest friends, Grim and Despair. Grim and Despair. Hello, Omega. So, what we gonna do about me and Grim's cousin? Because he's trying to oppose us again. We can lock him up and reincarnate to stop him. But first, what we should call this place we are in, the godly realm, where we are in our reincarnations and their families and their descendants can be at peace. That's a good idea. Let's leave a book telling them who they are and who they got to fight. In a couple of years past, the spirit was reincarnated into Levi. Well, it took time for Omega and Grimm to be reincarnated again. Dawn of the Ark Part 4. Somewhere in the infinite dimension. Jet, what's wrong with you, Levi? Your parents said you have completed your training and no one can match your power. Yeah, I'm just waiting on my oldest friend and brother to reincarnate. You talking about Graham and Omega? Yep, Jet. I can feel it, but I just can't wait anymore. So after this conversation with Jet, he rewinded time to when he was a baby and freezes himself. A few years later, Crimson was born in the infinite dimension. Next, by the godly realm, all the gods were present to witness this occasion. Osiris, Isis, and Seth goes to the godly realm, and she notices that a book was glowing. This book was the book that Omega Graham and the spell wrote in the ancient times. King and Queen, Royal Guard, obviously. King and Queen, Seth, Osiris, and Isis. I just received news that King and Queen Ben and Sandra is welcoming a new son. Seth, Isis, and Osiris, y'all go. I'll read what's in this book. Okay, then. Tell us what you found out. Okay, then. Isis and Osiris returned to the Crimson Nova dimension to a planet called Utopia. The royal family leaves. Isis and Osiris, you made it. Where's Uncle Seth? Yeah, Justin is right. He should be here. Well, he stayed in the library in the godly realm. Okay, then it must be important. Isis and Osiris, you know what's the funny thing? You know what's funny? As soon as your son and our nephew was being born, an ancient book started to glow up. That means Crimson is one of the legendary children. That means as soon as he turns 1, we have to start training him. The Anunnaki shows up next to Seth. Ooh, Seth, what are you doing here? Well, reading this interesting book, Anunnaki. Well, what does it say? The youngest son of Benjamin, Ben, and Sandra, and my nephew is one of the legendary children of prophecy. You know what this means, right? We have to train him right away. Yes, by the way, your father and Amon Ra is not with us. They must be at the hospital with everyone else. We are heading that way now. I'll be right behind. Okay then, Seth. In the infinite dimension, Levi wakes up. My oldest friend and my brother has been born. Back at the hospital in the Crimson Nova dimension, in the Crimson Nova dimension, in the infinite dimension by the godly realm on a planet called Utopia, Osiris and Isis come here. Sandra comes out of the hospital room, holding Crimson. Shalita, Sandra, Ben, Shalita, Justin, Cornelius, and Julian meet your baby brother Crimson. Doctor, we noticed that your son has a pure blue, purple, and white aura surrounding his body. What does that mean, doctor? We have to run some. He's fine, doc. What do you mean he's fine, Seth? What was in that book, Seth? Let's just say that he's legendary and he's and him and another young boy in Crimson's mindscape. Omega, Grim, and Despair. Hello, Crimson. Who are you? Crimson. Omega, Grim, and Despair. Well, you are us, and we are you. Okay, then, how this training would work? Crimson stops crowding around and starts to walk around. Well, you learn how to walk fast. Of course, I'm a prodigy just like y'all. I can run and fly, and also fly. So, this training will be easier. But at times it will get harder though. Ba-ba-boop! Days after Crimson turns his first birthday, he starts to train with the royal families in the Anunnaki. While his training in the physical world, and he's also training in his mindscape, the royal families and the Anunnaki. Well done, that was your strongest attack yet. Narrator, Crimson spent multiple years training and multiple years in eons training. Dawn of the Ark Part 5. Dawn of Time Arc Part 5. Over the years, Seth was acting strange and distant after being sent to the desert. Crimson is now 12 years old. Hello, Crimson. For your 13th birthday present, we would like for you to become a part of the Anunnaki. Does that mean I can come to that? Does that mean that I can come to meetings that you guys are having? Yes. Okay then. When is the next meeting after your 13th birthday? By the way, we have came across a planet called Earth. Is this planet full of life? No, not yet, but we have sent Isis and Osiris to create life forms. Okay then. Will they be able to make it to my birthday party? Yeah, they should be here returning tomorrow. Horus and Anubis. But Uncle Seth should be back here any minute. Seth, hello Crimson. Are you ready for your birthday party tomorrow? Yes, sir. How is your mission going? Became the king of the deserts. Cool. I can't wait to become king. Crimson, you will be something higher than the king, sun god. Ra the sun, the god of the sun. Okay. Hello, my son. Hey, hello, Seth, my son. Oh, yeah, Crimson, we have to begin our training in the sun. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I'll train you in the moon, highest and lowest parts of the moon, in Anubis. And I will be training you in the lowest and highest parts of the underworld as well. I will be training you in the sands of the desert. I will be making clones because my dad said he would be training me in the training area as well. Okay, then Ra, the god of the sun. Everybody says okay. Crimson trains all day all day and night until 9 p.m. Man, I'm tired. Crimson passes out from all the training and goes to his mindscape. Well, we still have to finish up your training for today. Yeah, since my physical body is resting, let's do it. And Crimson's mindscape, he finished up the rest of his training and woke up in the morning. Crimson's birthday came. It was March 11th. Justin and Jason, well, happy birthday. Thanks, Justin and Jason. The Anunnaki called a meeting with the other members of the Anunnaki and all other gods. We would like to introduce a new member, Crimson stands up wearing a pure white and blue purple robe. Who is this brat? Ooh. Brat. Crimson flares up his... Oh, Crimson and Levi. Crimson and everybody flares up their power when the question got asked. Listen here, you will respect me. When Crimson powers up, his power turns the room cold like death, hot like the sun. The moon in the underworld started to move closer. Okay. Amon Ra, calm down now, Corey. Yes, sir, Amon Ra. But that one over there needs to learn respect. Isis, Osiris, and Seth, how dare you disrespect Crimson by calling him a brat? Justin, Julian, Keniz, Jason, Darius, and Joe. Yeah, how dare you call him that? Amon Ra and Ra, the god of the sun. Crimson can erase you from existence, so I would advise you to hold your tongue when you addressed him. The room gets quiet after Amon Ra and Ra, the god of the sun, says that. I think they're the same people, really. But how is that he that strong? It's just in his genetics, which means he's born like that. No further questions about Crimson's power. There's one of us missing. Levi isn't here? I thought he would be here to see me because he has been waiting a long time. Amon Ra. Crimson, how do you know who his ski is talking about? I'll tell you later in private, but his name, Levi, shows up in the meeting room. Long time no see, oldest friend and brother. Everybody but Isis and the Anunnaki was... Everybody but Seth, Isis, and Osiris. And the Anunnaki was... Yeah, and the Anunnaki was confused. How long were you going to make me wait on you, Crimson? I'm sorry about that, but I couldn't help that you was born before me. You know that. Justin, Crimson, how is he your brother? Justin, I will explain that to you later. At Crimson's birthday celebration, Crimson pulls over the royal family and Levi. Y'all was looking confused. So I'll tell y'all who Levi and I are. Ben and Sandra, please enlighten us. Crimson and Levi. The story goes that there were 3 guys before us, Set and Isis, Osiris, and Amon Ra. These guys were creation, death, and destruction, and their names were Omega, Grim, and Despair. Set, they fought to see who was stronger until they created the godly realm training area and locked Grim and Despair's cousin away. Then they decided to do a one-time reincarnation. To reincarnate. Ra, the sun god. The 3 guys names were Omega, Grim, and Despair. They were reincarnated into Crimson and Levi. Crimson and Levi's reincarnations of... Crimson is the reincarnation of creation and half of despair and death, which is Omega, Grim, and Despair. While Levi is Despair. Everybody, wow, that's what Crimson, your order was the same color as my robe. Seth, this is a top secret information no one can know about this. Everybody in the royal family, yes, we know because there will be a war, maybe. Crimson, Alicia, Crimson, are you coming back to your party? Huh. Young love, I remember them days. It's nothing like that. We are just friends. Yeah, right. I bet she will have you a birthday surprise later. Alicia and Crimson blushed at what Levi said. It's nothing like that. Then while y'all blushing, Sandra and Shalita, enough with teasing Crimson and Alicia. Those was the good times. Weeks after Crimson's 13th birthday, narrated in the meeting, the Anunnaki was shouting at Seth. Uncle Seth, that's a horrible plan. Please reconsider your plan. I'm saying that we can feast off of their lifespans. Crimson and Levi started flaring up their power and started talking. You were reminding us of him. Crimson and Levi's voices started to shake the meeting room. Everybody, including their royal families and the Anunnaki, started to get scared. Crimson, please come down right now. Did I tell y'all can talk? Damn. Crimson and Levi, make any moves to on the earth other than to help these life forms. We will make sure you cease to exist. We don't want to hear we don't want to hear no more about this plan. How dare you to learn respect? Listen here, you parasite. Crimson and Levi, listen here, you parasite. Don't get us upset. The room was shaking and breaking. With a look from Crimson and Levi, John started to suffocate. Crimson, come down like your parents said. This parasite will learn respect if it has to kill them. Ra, Amon Ra, and Ra, the god of the sun. Crimson, chill right now. Chill not right. Chill out. Chill right now. Chill right out. Chill right out. Chill out right now. That's supposed to be out. Chill out right now. This one is not worth it. Did I tell you may speak? Damn it, Crimson. Crimson's eyes are pure blue, white, and purple. John, my true identity is that of Omega, Grim and Despair, the great, powerful gods who created all. The room turns quiet. What that means, Crimson, that's a lie. You are lying. Come and test your luck against me, parasite. Come down, Crimson, because we don't feel like cleaning up ashes today. Ashes, any ashes. Levi and Crimson began to come down until John shoots an energy blast towards Crimson. How dare you parasite! With a snap of his finger, he made John cease to exist. Everyone in the meeting room, lesson learned, don't get on his bad side. I'm sorry that y'all had to see that, but really, I don't like this plan. Narrator, Crimson shoots an information beam into everybody's head for me when he to confirm everything. It's all true, and why y'all because we didn't want to start a war. That information does not leave here. Is that understood? Yes, sir. But what would that start a war? We were just making sure to keep Crimson and Levi safe. Seth still started his rebellion. Centuries and even decades, millennia has passed since then. Crimson sealed up his and the royal family's memories of those events. Nova Arc on the days leading up to Crimson's birth. Crimson, the legendary birth leading up to Crimson's birth. The legendary book and the prophecy the God planet started to grow again. In the womb of his mother, Crimson was in his mindscape with Grim, Omega, and Despair. Hello, who are y'all? Omega and Despair and Grim. Grim, Omega, and Despair. Well, that's I'm you and you are me. Crimson, you remember us, but when we I did, but I guess it's a part of I guess it's the still being undone since you gave me deja vu. So you remember how yup. Let's begin your training. Fallen and Crimson of Dragos fused after one day. 4 years of 4 years of mindscape training and physical training with Crimson with the Anunnaki. Crimson met Alicia and they became boyfriend and girlfriend. Alicia tells Crimson about their past. Lau started his rebellion against the royal family. Crimson, sun, moon of despair. Crimson takes out half of Lau's. Man, young prince, you must think you can believe that you can beat Lau. You think that you can leave off this planet alive? The royal families in Crimson started to beat the holy hell out of Lau. With every single look from Crimson, Lau started to suffocate. Then Crimson powered up and the air begins to become toxic. Lau retreats and leaves Nova. I think you all should leave this planet so Crimson can train a little bit more. I hate it, but that's the best solution for now. We agree with Isis. That's what Darius' family says. Narration: Crimson and Alicia's mother. Crimson's family and Alicia arrives on Earth. Shalita, Justin, Kaniz, Tan, and I have been in many battles on this planet, and we have made lifelong friends. They are all dead now. Shalita, Justin, Kaniz, and Julian. Yep, that's right. But do you still have the mansion? Yeah, I think it's in Decatur, Georgia, in Alithia Springs, in Alithia Springs. Everybody walks in the house in Alithia Springs, Georgia. The house is automatically kept up with the times. Dead. Yes, Uncle. Yes, Tan, Uncle, and Auntie Isis and Osiris made the training room like the training area. One Earth Day is 19 eons, but there is the Crimson. Technically, on the Crimson setting, you have to be a reincarnation since the dawn of time. Yeah, you have to be in the royal family, part of the inner circle guard, and the Anunnaki. Yes, it has a facial scanner. Everybody, including Crimson, started to train on the Crimson setting in their training room. They all came out of that predicament stronger. I'll be in the meditation room. Okay, then. Baby, I'm gonna come and get you when dinner is ready. Okay, then. Alicia, okay, then. Crimson begins to meditate and goes into his mindscape. Okay, that's where I'm gonna stop.